Hi, I'm Sharon Knight, President and CEO of Hope Communities, and I'm here to check in on you. I hope you got out this weekend into the sunshine before all this snow hit Denver. As you've been hearing, I'm quite a hiker, and so I went for a really long hike on Saturday. And one of the things I love about Colorado is that everybody is so interested in being fit and being out in nature. I will say, however, I passed about 300 people on that hike, and I would guesstimate that maybe 85% did not have a mask on. The governor has really highly recommended that we wear masks when we're out in public, especially when we're in a crowded location. And even though it might feel like going outside into nature would be more of a vast, array of space and give you plenty of opportunity to keep your distance from people, it really isn't always true. And plus, if someone is jogging or someone is biking by walkers, it's so easy for saliva to come out of the mouth when you're breathing in a heavy fashion. So I would just really encourage people to wear masks when you go outside. I have hiked, I have run and biked. You can do it all when you have a mask on, and it just makes it so much better for everyone else. It's much more respectful for everyone else in terms of their health. I would prefer that we all do this by our own accord rather than to have somebody mandate that we can't go outside at all. So please consider getting a mask and wearing it the next time that you go out. If you've just joined us, my name is Sharon Knight, and I am President and CEO of Hope Communities. And we are a nonprofit that has been in Denver for 40 years, helping people across the city with housing, resource navigation, meeting basic needs, and getting the skills that they need to advance towards their personal and economic goals. We have also been very committed to building community, which is why we want to have this show, because we know a lot of people are feeling a little isolated during this time. So I have started this Facebook Live program, and there is a chat feature at the bottom of the screen. So if you would sign in, I see that Gwen just signed in and said, "Hi Sharon, happy Monday." If you would sign in and let me know that you are joining us, that would be great. This is also a place for you during the show to write down questions that you have or comments about what you're hearing. We will try to respond. I'll try to respond right just in time. But if I don't see the comment, we will follow up with you at another time to make sure that we respond to whatever request or whatever comment that you made to us. So let's see if we can get some more people signing in. Also, anytime that you do have a comment or a question for us, if you need help, you can always email us at info@hopecommunities.org. And we will be checking on that regularly and getting right back with you. We also have a lot of information on our website that anyone can benefit from. I think there's a lot specifically for COVID-19, but also many other things. And that website is hopecommunities.org. So, we provide programs and services to the people who live on our properties, which are all across the city, but also to the broader community. And the way that we can do that is just that we have demonstrated that commitment to those values the whole time that we've been around. We are an affordable housing company, or nonprofit actually, but we provide rent that is lower than market rate. It's not subsidized apartments, but it's lower than market rate so that we can help everyone to have a safe place to call home. The money that we get from rent actually does pay for the operation of the property. And I have had some people in recent weeks ask if we could simply forego rent and not charge any rent during this time that's been so challenging for people. And unfortunately, the answer is no, because we really do need it to run the operations. So that is not going to be possible. We have started many special programs to help people through this time, though, to defer rent and to not have late fees, things like that. So we're doing our very best to help with that. In terms of the programs and the services, those are provided to our community because we do fundraising with grants, with individual donors, and with some events. So we know a lot of nonprofits have been affected by this virus and pandemic that has been crossing the whole world, actually. And so we will really keep working to make sure that we have the funding and that we are able to continue the programs, because I can tell you we have just had catastrophic responses from our residents and clients and people in the community that we're meeting for the first time because they have so many needs, and we are very happy to help, and we're going to keep on trying to do that. So our resource navigators are program staff that can help people to find things like basic needs, which might be food, clothing, medicine. They're helping individuals to apply for work or to apply for unemployment at this time, and helping with all kinds of other benefits that people might need. And sometimes it's coaching and mentoring as well. We typically have programs for kids after school and out of school times. Those have been suspended for the moment because our group activities are suspended, but we are still reaching out to our kids to make sure that they're okay, and the staff have provided activity packets to them and are really working a lot to help them and their families figure out how to connect with the schools. Many of our families don't have great technology or internet capabilities, or they hadn't before they started this period, and so we're helping people through that. Now, one of the things that we hear a lot about right now is the need for food. So we are trying to step up our food services and respond to people as we can. So one of the things that I'm going to go over today for you is how to apply for SNAP. SNAP, or the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, is a food assistance program here in Colorado. It was formerly called food stamps, and it's part of a federal nutrition assistance plan to help low-income families, even if that's temporarily low income, to purchase food. And if you're approved for SNAP, you get a card. It's called the EBT, or an electronic benefit transfer card. It's like a debit card, and so you can take that to a store like you would a debit card or a credit card to actually buy your food. So it's really nice because it doesn't look as people don't take notice of it as much as they used to with the old-fashioned food stamps. So it's really like you're any other customer in the store. So you use that to purchase food, and the card is refilled on a monthly basis. So you can use that EBT card in almost every grocery stores, and some stores have programs that actually extend or double the benefit because of some funding that was received through the Live Well Colorado Foundation. So there's some basic rules about SNAP, and there's a list of requirements or verifications that you would have to apply or use for your application in order to be eligible and to be approved for the EBT card. So you have to prove your identity, for instance, and so a driver's license, a birth certificate, a work ID, or a school ID, something like that that's government issued would really work well to demonstrate your identity. You also need to talk about citizenship. Citizens of the US and some non-citizens are eligible for SNAP benefits. And even if some members of your household are not eligible, but some are, you might still be able to get SNAP benefits. Now, people need to provide their Social Security number or provide proof that they have applied for one. In terms of income, there are going to be a request for how much money the household makes for income. So not one person, but anyone in the household who is earning money. And there are some deductions below a certain dollar amount that make you eligible for SNAP benefits. The dollar amount that you would get for your benefit card would be related to the household income and the number of people in your household. So you have to be really accurate about what that is. And so the proof of income that you would have to show might be a pay stub for your employer. If you have recently lost your job, it may say that you lost your job and what your typical pay was, so something like that. If you had some other benefit awards like short-term disability payments, child support, pension, unemployment, VA funds, or Social Security, those things would all be within or under the umbrella of your income that you would report. And so all of those things would be, for all of the people who are earning income in your family, would be counted. And then after that, there are certain deductions that you would have to take. So you have to be sure that you tell in your application, or if you're talking to an eligibility technician, that you tell them what your household pays for. So if you get income, but then you pay out child care, if you pay out child support, if you have different medical expenses, how much you pay for rent, how much you pay for utilities, so your average expenses. So you can see where I'm going. You're going to be recording all of your income coming into the household and then letting them know all the income that leaves. In terms of utility payments, I think it's important for you, many renters, to understand that sometimes the utilities are included in the rent and sometimes they're not. So there may be some places where you do not fill in those funds, as if you're including it for rent, you won't also include how much of that rent is your utilities. For the Hope Communities properties, for instance, most of the properties have tenants who are paying electricity but not heat. So heat is a separate thing that is not included, or that's included in your rent, but that you're not paying for separately. And then for one of the properties at the Point, the tenants are paying for both of those things. So you can include both of those costs as expenses in addition to your rent. So just be clear. I mean, wherever you are, whether you're at Hope property or somewhere else, to really gather all that information and to be very specific and detailed about what you're actually paying and what you're actually bringing in. So when you have all this information together, and I'm really suggesting that you gather all those things so you can do this in one swell swoop if possible. You can apply on a website called coloradopeak.secure.force.com. It's called Colorado Peak is the website that you apply for this, but there's all of those parts of it, and we will put that in our comments, coloradopeak.secure.force.com in the website. An easier way also could be to go to the Denver Human Services site, which is denvergov.org, and then to go for Denver Human Services, and there'll be links right to the page that you can apply for SNAP benefits. So you can apply online with letter or fax. You can apply by phone. And usually you can apply in an office, but right now the offices for Denver Human Services are closed, so you have to pick one of those other options. If you go online first for the Denver Human Services website page about food, there'll be some translation capabilities on there. It's a Google Translate function that gives you the basic ideas. But once you get to the Colorado Peak site, there's not translation available. So if you are a person that might need that kind of translation, think ahead about how you might get that. You can apply for a phone service, or you can find someone in the community that can help you. At Hope, communities right now, we have navigators that speak English, that speak Somali, Arabic, and Burmese. And we are looking for additional navigators to help with the big influx of people who are applying for SNAP or applying for unemployment or rental assistance. But we at least have those who are ready on site to help you, and we will look for other navigators if you need assistance. In addition to the language, sometimes it's just complicated to go through some of these, even though the government offices try to make the process streamlined, it could be complicated. The other thing I will say is that if you have someone who can help you with an online application, it could be an easier process. When you try to make a phone call right now, the offices are absolutely, and we have had anything from a 2-hour wait to a 2-day wait. Sometimes you have to leave a message and somebody will call you back. And so throughout any of these processes, you have to be patient. And it's really hard to be patient when you are feeling desperate. But right now, as hard as they were trying, and believe me, everybody is ramping up to try to meet the need as quickly as possible, there is a long wait. So if you can do something online with or without help, that might be your best option. You also can go online and print an application, fill it out, and send materials in, or you can be patient and try that phone line. If you're going to be talking to somebody by phone, I highly recommend that you have every single piece of support material with you before you start the process, and that you think ahead about any questions that you might have, because you don't want to have to go through another waiting period after you finally get a chance to talk to somebody. So one of the things you will want, in addition to the things that I identified, is a proof of residence. So if you want to verify how much rent you're paying, you want to talk with your property manager wherever you are renting. If you have a home that you're not renting from an organization like ours, you might be able to use your utility bill to demonstrate your proof of residence. And so think about all of those things along the way so that you can really be ready for the phone call if you're going that route. You want all of those things together if you're doing it online as well, but it's not quite as challenging because you can take your time going through the application. They say that an application might take you 30 to 60 minutes. And I think that's if you have all your ducks in a row and you have everything in front of you. I think for some people who have never done this before, it could take even longer. So patience is really the key, I think. So the phone number for the Denver office that you could call is 720-944-4347. And there are several mailing addresses. The one closest to Hidden Brook is 4685 Peoria Street, Denver 80239. There is one on Steele Street, which might be appropriate for the Northeast Park Hill site, 3815 Steele Street, Denver 80205. And then the main office is at 1200 Federal Boulevard in Denver 80204. If you lost your job because of the virus, they're saying that they will expedite this process, and that you could hear back about whether or not you get the card and how much you get within 7 days. Though truthfully, we've been hearing that it can take 2 to 3 weeks. So again, patience is important. I know they've been getting more staff and trying to ramp up, but there's just so many people calling. So if you have to call and you have never called before and you feel a little bit bad about that, please don't. So many people are in the same situation. This COVID-19 pandemic is something that none of us could have planned for. And we are having to ask for help when we've never had to ask for it before. So if you are not going to apply, or if you have applied and you understand that it could be a couple of weeks before you get any food through the EBT card, there are other ways that you can get some nutritional benefit right now. So we have worked with an organization called Jewish Family Services, and they are packing lunches. It's actually a breakfast lunch sack of food that is for kids, but also for families. And they are coming to make deliveries on Tuesdays and Fridays. We know, we have mentioned before in some of these shows that there is food distribution at some of the schools, and all of those are listed on our website at hopecommunities.org if you want to go pick those up from the schools. But a lot of people don't have great transportation, and so know that Jewish Family Services will be delivering those sack lunches on Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays and Fridays at Hidden Brook, they will be there at 11:15, and they will be by the 1313 building, so you can go to pick those up there. You'll see the materials there. There'll be a sign, and we're actually usually inside the building. So that's where those will be. The gardens of Hope Communities in Northeast Park Hill will have a delivery at 12:30 on Tuesdays and Fridays. In addition to those deliveries, there's a food distribution program that will occur at Hidden Brook, our East Colfax site, on Wednesday evenings. And there will be food distribution, boxes and bags to families as requested to our other locations. And I say as requested, and this is important because we are making boxes specifically for people in need. So again, if you need some food and you have not had to ever ask before, please do not feel embarrassed to email us at info@hopecommunities.org, or to go on our website and look for one of the program navigators associated with your property and let them know that you need food. It's a confidential process, and we will bring the boxes or bags of food to your doorstep on Wednesday evenings if you let us know that you need that food. There is also a food bank at the Street Fraternity in the East Colfax area on Thursday evenings. There's a food bank at the East Colfax Neighborhood Association, which is being held at Counterpath, which is on 14th Avenue, and that's on Fridays from 3 to 5. Metro Caring is a food bank and distribution program that has food that can be picked up. It can be ordered online, or you could go right to the building to get that, and they are on 18th Street in Denver. And then the Twin Parish Food Bank on Humboldt Street, which is associated with St. Vincent de Paul Church, has Tuesdays and Thursday box lunches from 10:30 to 12:30. There's also a food resource hotline. I'll read this number to you: 1-855-855-4626. So you can always call them if you don't want to go through us and you just want to be more confidential and figure out what you can get for food. They can help you figure out the best place. And while we're talking about food, I just want to make one little note about the WIC program. WIC program is another nutritional program for children under 5, for infants and mothers. And so that program also has food that can typically be picked up, or you can buy the food with vouchers in grocery stores. However, there are very specific foods and brands that you need to buy, and sometimes those are not available. So unfortunately, you may not be able to get as much through WIC as you typically could have in the past, at least not right now. Things are always changing. But we've heard that SNAP recipients are actually getting a little bit more funding than they used to get. So hopefully you'll be able to find the food that you need for your infants and toddlers before this whole WIC program comes back fully, you should be able to get the money that you need with those SNAP benefits. And again, if you need something extra, let us know. We will do our very best to get it to you. So also not related to food, but I think related to this time, is that Colorado has a health program that was designed when the Affordable Health Care Act went into place several years ago. Our program is Connect for Health Colorado, and right now they understand that many people have lost their jobs, and so many people may have lost their insurance coverage for this very critical time. And so they have an emergency special enrollment going on right now so that people who have lost their insurance can get insurance. And this enrollment period, this emergency period, is going until April 30th. So you have the opportunity, if this is the case for you, to go on to Connect for Health CO or connectforhealthcolorado.com, and you can potentially get insurance. Now, if you don't have health insurance, if you've recently lost your health insurance, you can go on to do that. If you have lost your insurance due to COVID-19 and you put that down there, that'll help you to fast track through the program. So you can do this online at that email or at that address that I gave you, which was connectforhealthcolorado.com, or you can call the customer service line, which is 855-752-6749. Now, I'm doing this a little bit differently, but it's late in the show, but this is my quote for today. The tragic consequences of life can be overcome by the magical strength that resides in the human heart. That quote came to me through Councilwoman Jamie Torres, who is reviewing a book for us today. Councilwoman Torres did the recording for us, and the book that she is featuring is called Bless Me Ultima. It is by Rudolfo Anaya, and it sounds amazing. It really sounds like a great book. It is told through the eyes of a 6-year-old boy and revolves around a lot of things in his community in New Mexico. It sounds like the narrative is really rich and engaging, and it sounds like something I would love to read. And Jamie reads certain passages from the book, so I think you'll really enjoy this book and this review. If you want to do your own review at some point to let other people know about your favorite book, please let us know. We're looking for a 3-minute review or under that's videoed on your phone or on a webcam. Now that a lot of people are working at home, you might have that. So let us know if you'd like to share a book. She did pick this book because it is one of her very favorites. It's also available for download through the Denver Public Library. So you can use your library card, or if you don't have one, you could apply for a library card so you can download this really exciting and very interesting book. As I leave today, let me just remind you of those contacts for Hope Communities in case you should need anything. info@hopecommunities.org is an email. Let us know what you need and we will get back with you. And then hopecommunities.org is our website. Lots of information, including the names of our program staff if you need to contact one of your community managers on property, or for our navigators to help you to get some of the resources that you need. Thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully we will see you and you'll see us again on Wednesday for our next show at 3 p.m. Have a great day.